My name is Bob Hegyi. I'm, I guess, the founder of Empire Games. We used to be Dead Gaming Society, focusing purely on games that had gone out of print, or games that companies, some of the big companies, would kill because of like rules revisions. So we formed up a gaming club to move around and hit different venues. Myself and two of my other friends that developed this map tonight, that you'll hopefully see here in a few minutes, are from different parts of Indiana. So we actually move around, we get together at different venues, and we try to run as many events as we can, whether it's Monster Apocalypse or for any other game that we're currently playing for that time.
So this game is based on Monster Apocalypse pretty heavily. Did you just basically change the map? I mean, explain what this is.
Well, this is a custom map. My friends and I love to do customization and house rules, so we've decided to do an 8-on-8 player map. Monster Apocalypse is typically designed for 2 players for domination and control of certain elements of a cityscape, and eventually with the destruction of the other enemy monster. We decided to up the scale. Monster Apocalypse and Privateer Press currently doesn't have a rule set for this kind of multiplayer environment, so we decided to develop one.
And it's a team game. It's 8 versus 8?
This is an 8 versus 8 free-for-all.
Okay.
We've based it loosely on New York City, and we're doing special rules and victory points for control of the monuments and penalties if those monuments are destroyed.
I was wondering how the response has been. It looks like you got a full table.
The response has been great. The fans love it. We've had multiple people come up here, registered ticket holders, generic ticket holders wanting to get in and participate and have, are hoping that we're running it more often, but unfortunately because of the size of it, it's a 4-hour event. We have specific turn times involved in this to keep everything moving and try to keep the action fresh and alive and keep everyone awake, because it is a 4-hour event. We want to thank Privateer Press for making such a great game and giving us a chance to do cool things like this, and the buildings that they provided us, the additional buildings that we were lacking, we want to give them kudos for that. We've had a number of people asking us, are you selling this map? Can we get a copy of it? How did you guys do it? My creative talent behind this, David Allen, lives up in Lafayette. He's actually the one that put everything into Photoshop and Illustrator and actually spent 25 hours of his time putting this together. The initial thought was myself and my tournament judge, Jon Quillen, over there from Lake County, Indiana. We came up with the concept and the layout, and we've play tested it a few times, and we got together at my friend's house and spent a lot of time developing it and making sure everything was balanced. The start areas are identical, along with the spawn points and the general building setup, and as well as the spacing between the players. So we've tried to create a very balanced environment and then put a challenge of the monuments in there. As they control them on a successful power-up, they're getting victory points for that. So the goal is, currently we have 2 or 3 people in the center of the map trying to control or contest for control of the Statue of Liberty, who gives the highest victory point values per successful power-up.
Oh, very cool. It sounds cool. It looks like a lot of fun.
Well, I will say this: we've had a request. Hey, please bring this back next year. We're looking at bringing this back with some new, maybe tournament ideas. One of those is we've got it set up that it can be used for dual monsters, so each player would show up with dual monsters. And the other thing that we're looking at is actually developing a new map entirely to take incorporation of the all your base or all my base special buildings for each of the races. Something that's a little more alien and less planet Earth looking.
So if this does make it to tournaments, people can just bring their Monster Apocalypse stuff. There's no extra stuff necessary?
Right. The only thing we're requiring for this event is that they bring their health tracker, for this particular event, a Rise or iChomp New York monster, both the Alpha and the Ultra form, no Megas, because we didn't want to see a bunch of Mega Zor Maximums kind of dominating the map with their beatback ability. and they have to bring 15 units of iChomp or Series 1 Rise units, pure faction, to go with those monsters. And then, of course, their dice. We provided the map and all the buildings.
Very cool. And so, just real quick, in Monpoc, you set up all of your buildings. Do they do this here, or is the map already pre-set up?
No. In Monster Apocalypse, each player is allowed to bring 12 buildings of their own choosing, and then take turns setting those up to create the cityscape. In this case, we created the map, and then we also set up the city. We're predetermined to keep, again, the balance in place. So if you to get some shots of the buildings, you'll see that all the monuments are focused towards the center. We're simulating here in New York City. One side is Manhattan, the other side is Brooklyn. And we have Liberty Island in the center there with the Statue of Liberty. We've added the Privateer Press building in that, and one of the rules changes that we did make is, unfortunately, Privateer Press, it's fully destructible because we have to associate a penalty if that monument is destroyed.
All right, and lastly, how can people contact you if they have questions or comments or anything?
They can see me they can contact us on Empire Gaming Club at gmail.com. That's the easiest way to get a hold of us. We don't have a website currently up. We're going to be creating a website, and you can see our logo will be on that as well. Empire Games is the venue if you look at the Privateer Press event calendar.
Well, very cool. Thank you very much. I'm going to get some
All right, thank you.
My name is Jon Quillen. I am the tournament judge for this. At Empire Games, we're running an 8-player Monster Apocalypse map. We've custom made it.
All right, so I was talking to your partner, and he said that you had added things because the bigger game tends to be longer to keep it more exciting. Could you talk about a little bit of some of the more exciting elements you put in there?
We wanted to base this off New York and monuments, so we put monuments out there that if you destroy them, and it's all based on a point system. So, and if you can control the monuments during a power-up, then you get extra points. And they're kind of huge because you can do multiple power-ups if you take multiple monster turns and get a lot of points to win. So that it's, everyone's racing to the monuments and they're towards the middle. So it makes all the players on the everyone starts on the outside, it makes them all rush towards the middle to get the monument. So then you have complete mayhem in the middle of the map, which the map is mayhem in Manhattan. That's how you determine who wins the game, whoever has the most victory points. We went over and over what our point system should be, and we finally came up with that you would get 1/4 of a point for every unit that you destroy, 1/2 a point for every building that you would destroy, and a whole point for every monster that you would hit, and 2 points for if you take the form of that monster. And then again on power-ups, if you're controlling a monument, you get 2 points for the Statue of Liberty and 1 point for each other monument that's on the board.
So victory is not determined by last monster standing, it's determined by how much destruction you do.
Yep, it's determined on how much destruction that you can do. You can be the first player out and still win the tournament.
But you can go out. 2 forms and you're gone.
2 forms, you're gone.
Nice. And how's the response been?
The players love it. We've had several, I'd say probably hundreds of people walking by that came and looked at it. We've ran it 3 times now in 4-hour segments. So, and they just love it. I mean, they're like, wow.
Is there any more intense on the players as far as keeping track of rules, or is that what you have judges involved? So they do that?
Yeah, the only intense that the players, I'm the judge. So if there's rules, questions or anything, that mine's the final call. I'm pretty adept at the rules. I do tournaments down in my neighborhood. I do play a lot. But the only stress that the players have is they have 2 minutes per turn to take their turn. Because there's 8 players, we only have 4 hours to do it in, so we have to keep a time on it. If there's 8 players left after 2 hours, we drop that down to a minute. And we've done that last night. The night before that we didn't have to. Tonight we're absolutely going to have to. So.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Just that I love this game, and so do my buddies, and we put a lot of hard work into it, and it's paid off for us with the appreciation that all the fans have had.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much.